Welcome to my channel, Mauer Woodworking. I'm Walter Mauer. Normally I talk about my projects that I'm going to start and go into the details. In this case, I'm just going to change it up a little bit. The project is complete. It has been delivered to the customer. It has been installed. A friend of mine helped me out with the installation. Customer is really satisfied. So overall, it was a really great project to work on. One of my bigger projects that I've worked on over the years. But what I'd like to talk about is how you actually engage a customer and give them some ideas that they may not be aware of, and sort of to enhance the project. It's not so much to squeeze out a few more dollars here or there. It's basically to make sure they really get what they want and utilize the space that's available and give them the different options based on your experience. So when I originally met with the customer, they talked about they wanted a basically a display wall unit, bookshelves. They have a lot of books, and they wanted to have it on a main part of their wall in their living area. And it's the dimensions are 15 feet wide. This wall is, and then you got a normal height for a ceiling. And they wanted to go from the floor to the ceiling, but they have a very large picture window. So it's basically 4 feet on one side and 4 feet on the other side. And basically what they wanted to do is just have basic shelves painted white. So obviously I listened to that. And then I came back and said, listen, I got two other ideas I'd like to include as an option. So I gave them the original design that they wanted. That was option number one, which I show you right over here. And as you can see in the picture right next to me, basically you got shelves roughly 12 inches and some places like 10 and 11 inches apart. So that's basically what they wanted. And so I came up with another option, option number two, where, bring it up right here. Okay, this basically partitions things out. It breaks things up. And I think they got so many books that they could put on there and different items on there. But I figure if you do like a mirror image for each side, and you got some high areas where you may want to put, I don't know, flowers or sculpture or what have you. It doesn't all have to be books, basically. So that was option number two, and that goes from the floor to the ceiling, just like the original design, except you partition things up. So my third option is right here. This one here is almost identical, and what I'm doing on this option here, I'm sacrificing 3 inches off the ceiling, and I wanted to incorporate LED lighting. So they really liked that idea. So we went with option three. That's what I built. And like I said, the customer was very happy with it. And it just goes back to the point I was trying to make earlier on is customers have an idea what they want, but give them some other options in there that they may not be aware of. And you just draw on your experience of doing, your woodworking, or no matter what you do, to give them a better product. So the video is not going to be that long. It's actually, it's a lot of routing, and literally it's just a bunch of cutting, boards up. So it's not an exciting video to watch, but that's why I wanted to change up this video to talk about the process of actually engaging the customer. So we'll begin right now, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So starting the project, I purchased the 7 sheets of poplar plywood. They're 4x8 sheets by 3/4. I want to make sure everything's very sturdy. That's why I went with the 3/4. And for me, it's a lot easier to cut these pieces up in my garage as opposed to carrying down the 4x8 sheets down into my shop, which is located in my basement. So this part of the process was the most tedious part. This is where I'm actually using a router. It's a 3/4 inch router, and I'm cutting down about a 1/2 inch into the 3/4 inch poplar plywood. And I'm doing this to better to seed the sides and the shelf, so there's actually a groove where you can actually, where the pieces of wood actually insert into, where I will then glue and then use brad nails to hold it all together. This will provide a very strong support for the shelving unit. This angle is a better angle. You can see actually what's going on here. Like I said, this was the most tedious part, and I had calculated this routing that I'm doing right now, the total feet of routing going through this process here was 204 feet. That's not a mistake. It was actually 204 feet of this, cutting the different sizes and for the shelving and the sides are all snapped together. This will make a lot more sense in the next video. Okay, just want to show real quickly the grooves that I'll be cutting out. This is the first assembly, the 12 inch by 12 inch, and the bottom left-hand corner. This is obviously the back panel, but these are the grooves that I was talking about earlier that you need to cut out for each of the shelves to provide the additional support for the books, so they rest on here along with the sides. So basically, once the shelves snap in there, and then you got these support rails or support units right here that'll snap in there. There we go. Obviously it's not cut, but you get the idea. So this will run all the way across, and these will be the supports going up. What you see over here in the corner here, this is a unique situation. This is where the plugs end up coming out. And so what we'll have to do when we're on site, we'll have to cut out this section right here so that so they can utilize that plug. Unfortunately, the plug's height comes right in line with the shelf height, and the best way around that, I didn't want to move the height or the configuration here. Is basically what I'm going to do is a shelf. I'm going to literally cut it out maybe 3 inches up, so you can still utilize that plug and not lose it, and but still utilize the shelf with the 12 inch from the base to the top here. All right, I'm ready to start the second assembly. This is going to be the one on the right side. So obviously cut everything out here. Did a dry fit, make sure everything fits in there, and it worked out really good. So this is basically going to be, this cutout is going to be the mirror image of this one here. So now that I have one done, this will go a lot quicker. So I had you're constantly figuring out different, the depth and everything, testing things. But once you got one all set, obviously the second one will go a lot quicker. And then I got to work on the two upper assemblies, which are a little bit bigger, but we'll see how far that goes. So everything is marked. Might be hard to see in the video. Everything's marked where I need to run the router, and then also trim out the edges there. So I'll be filming that in a time lapse. All right, this is obviously the video afterwards that I said I was going to do. So basically routed out all the areas that I had marked up. You weren't able to see that in the last video, obviously, but basically went down about almost a 1/2 inch through all these grooves here with the router, and I also did along the perimeter for the sides and the bottom are This is where the shelves are going to sit in along with the sides, and then these basically are going to be support pieces that hold up the shelves also to provide more stability and strength to the shelves. Um, this this is the top assembly, and this is a mirror image of the other one that I completed the other day. So normally you would use a CNC machine. It's just a big machine, computerized router. Most people know what it is, but unfortunately, I don't have one, so I have to do it manually. But it came out really good. Very happy with the results. Bit time consuming, but got it all done. So now I'm just going to focus on working on the shelves. All right, there's many ways of constructing a bookcase and or any type of a shelf. A really quick way of doing it is using pocket screws. I have a Craig jig that I use for certain applications, but I'm not a big fan of it of building for bookcases, just for the sheer weight of the book. So this section right here is going to be about 4 feet wide, and with all the books on there, there's going to be a lot of weight on it. So just having a couple pocket screws there is really not going to hold up that shelf or keep it from sagging. So the approach that I went with, since this is 3/4 inch poplar, I basically cut a groove in here, 1/2 inch, and leaving a 1/4 inch on the outside. So this actually rests a 1/2 inch on each one of the shelves. And I also did a groove on the bottom and the top. So the entire structure is set up where the load from the books is distributed throughout the shelving unit, as opposed to having just a couple, pocket screws to hold it up on each of the shelves. So it's a lot more work, but you create a better quality uh, bookcase than going another way. I'm not interested in saving time. Want to build a really decent product for my customer. So, anyways, just wanted to share that with you. So this is it's tedious. It's a lot of work. You got to be very careful, line everything up. I just got to mark it so I know how to put it back before I do the glue up. Oops. Okay, this one is all set. This is the last one of the assembly. Next step, obviously, is to break this down and then lightly sand everything. Probably do 220 each of the surfaces, and then after that, glue up process. That's going to be exciting. There's a lot of things that go all together. I might get a friend of mine to help me out because just a lot of glue up and everything's got to tie together. And yeah, I'll probably have Rick come and help me with that. All right, that's it for this part. So unfortunately, my friend couldn't help me out, so I just sped up the video here. This is the glue up process. Just got to get everything fitted together. I got everything marked, so it's easy enough to know where everything goes, but this glue dries fairly quickly. So what you're seeing here, I'm running a strap all the way around to tie everything together so it can dry properly. After I do that, I'm going to use some brad nails and nail everything together. All right, I cleaned up the glue spatter and runouts any place where there was. This is one of the assemblies, the other three is in the other room. And then I ran a bead of caulk in each of the corners there to get a nice, you don't want to see any gaps, obviously, before I paint it. But before I even paint it, I have to basically do all the trim work along here on the outside. That'll be my next step, but I'm going to leave this for today. I'll let it sit for 24 hours. I didn't videotape that because that's pretty boring. People wouldn't be interested in how to do glue cleanup. So, so anyways, that's where we're at, and I'll show more of the videos when I'm doing the trim work. That's going to be a little more tedious type of work. All right. All right, Jen, I want to make a quick video. So as you can see, this assembly is all glued up, put together. There's two sections at the bottom section and top. I got the other one done, but I don't have it assembled up here. So nothing's been painting. I still got to clean up some of the glue. But the next step is then put the strips on here. And so I get a nice finish on it. And then I'll paint it. Haven't done anything up here, but anyways, that's how it's going. So a little slow, but we're getting there. Here's just a time lapse of me painting the first coat of the white paint on the unit. Okay, I put one coat of the paint. I use the I went to Home Depot Bear Scuff Defense stain blocker. Got a high-end paint based on their recommendation, just based on, I told them explaining this would be a shelf, they'd be putting a bunch of books on there and some other knickknacks, so I want something very durable. I actually went through a half a gallon already. I did both top assemblies, the other one's in the other room, but between this and the other one, there was a half a gallon. That really surprised me. All right, I'm jumping around a little bit here. I'm running these boards of poplar through my planer to get it down to a 1/2 inch. Basically what I'm going to be doing is cutting strips off my table saw, and basically this will be the facade, the front facing of all the edging on the display case. I'll give a nice clean edge, and it's gonna make it look really nice. All right, just wanted to do a quick update. Put the poplar trim around all the fascia. I left this one out purposely. That's where this piece will go. I can't put it on now because I disassemble it and carry it in two separate sections. But once we're on site, we'll nail it on with brad nails. So I glued it and then I added some brad nails. So you can see what it looks like here before I paint it. I got to fill in the where the brad nails went through, and this is how it looked before doing the trim. So you get a nice finish on it. So I rounded off the corners here, sanded it off. So moving along. Haven't done anything with the top yet, but I'll get to that. That's it for now. Okay, two options. There's three. I didn't like the third one, but anyways, we could leave it like this, where this is just flush along here. But what I was thinking about doing is adding a piece, something similar to this. This is not the piece here. Put it on there to give it a nice edge there. And that what they would do is wrap around the corner here at a 45-degree angle, and then run all along the top part that's above the window, and then wrap again to the other side on the right side, the bookcase unit. So option one, option two. I'm not going to tell you option three because it's really not that good. So here we're finally on site. Unfortunately, I forgot to videotape us bringing the stuff to the house in two trucks. This is a friend of mine, Rick, helped me with the installation. And what we're doing here is basically squaring everything up, shimming where we need to, and then going through the process of basically securing everything to the wall. We secured both assemblies and also the cross member above the picture window. We secured that with construction screws, so that's on there very solid. And we also screwed the assemblies together. And this is just a quick photo of the way things are going. And in this video here, we're basically going on and just finishing up the trim work. And as you can see, the LED lighting, make sure that that's all working. And just pretty much wrapping it up at this point. And here we are with the final product. You can see how nice everything turned out, especially with the LEDs up on top. And here's a quick video provided by my customer after they staged everything.
Well, you made it through the entire video. Thank you. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. And leave a comment. Let me know what you liked about the project and also on the video, so I can improve on the next one that I produce. Thank you so much. Bye.